What's up, hero? Just messing around, making some music. Not too much thought in here. See if I can put another chord on this end or something. Something like that. There we go. Weird that it's not recording directly the way I'm used to seeing the chords when I play chords. Could be because I have MPE on, I don't know. Forgot what chord progression. I mean, what scale I was in. G flat, G sharp, minor. Okay. This is how I record. Typically, I'm doing like just an 8 bar here just for fun, but typically I record with using MIDI capture. I forgot to keep playing. Oops. Drums, basic drums. That first kick is insane. Let's put it like that. Quantize it. I'm going to do some quantizing here, particularly on these. Snares. If I'm going to do a quantize on this, I'm doing like a 30-second just to mix it up. And the same thing here, I'd probably use like a 30-second if I see, because then it starts sounding weird if it doesn't. So let's do a 16, see what that. Nope. Take the quantize off. Eesh. Sounds terrible. I'm gonna take the quantize off and just only thing I'll quantize is these snares. I don't like the way it sounds. I'm not a drummer, so if you watching this and you're wondering like what the heck, me too. I'm wondering the same thing. I'm not a drummer. All right, let's do this. And I can fix some of this by putting some of it on where it's supposed to be. This is what happens when you don't start with a count in type thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redo this because I don't like the way it sounds. We'll leave the snares there because they're on where they need to be. Some of them are off. I can tell this one's off. Same here. The rest look pretty good. All right, we'll just do a count in and record over it. So I'm doing what Hero showed me with the color limiter. I like that. Now, one of the things I do too that's a little different on the drum bus, roar is actually a nice thing to put on there, but I enjoy having a hollow on there with a little bit of reverb just to give it some drum air so that the drums don't sound. I mean, they put it inside of Addictive Drums, but it's not as good to me. See, just that little bit just kind of does something to the drums that I can't describe. And I just play till I like what I hear. That'll work. Now, typically I would play more than just 8 bars, but I'm just doing this for fun, just to get a little quick run-in practice. Trillion on the bass. We're using Myth. And this is Expressive Ease preset called Distant Keys. What's cool about Myth is it uses audio samples with FM and other stuff blended together. Kind of like what you get with Pigments. At least that's how I think of it. Plus, what's beautiful about it is, unlike Pigments, it has these 2 different randomizers that you can use to randomize all the filters and oscillators. So you can have as many different sounds you want. It has pressure sensitivity, modulation, space, etc. So we put the color limiter on here with the little reverb. I like that. I'm gonna try the other stuff later. I'm not worried about it so much right now. something I'm learning with the Osmos, because not every instrument has MPE just set on it. You have to go in and enable it in here. So you can see where I right click here, enable it. And then you can go to the MIDI channel settings and adjust it. I got to learn that because I'm not used to having to do that. Let's try a Strat. Wonder what the color limiter would sound like on it. So let's try that. Turn the saturation up. All right, so so I can learn what the scale is real quick. I'm gonna grab the keyboard. Monitor, that is. There we go. Throw it in, lock the scale. Now I can learn the keys real quick because that's what it is. All black keys, 2 white keys, see? Let's do this, stretch this out. Play some octaves on this part. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go down to view all directories. I mean, to view all, and then do view all directories. This is everything you have, right? Then you can pick from here and start really breaking down the category if you want to, or you can put all as soon as it decides to load, and then click here and then type in the search box what you want, because then you can kind of be more descriptive. And if you use words like and, or, and not, stuff like that to describe what you don't want in it, you can get pretty descriptive and it'll usually find what you're looking for. So let's say, what would I look for in this one? I want something soft, a soft pad. So if I just type in soft pad, it's going to bring up everything that's described as a soft pad. Now it's saying this is all the directories. I don't believe this is all the directories, but it may be the ones that actually say soft pad in them. So then you can. This one sounds interesting. Omnisphere can get really loud if you haven't figured that out by now. So I usually turn them down depending on the pad. MPE, you got to turn it on. And then make sure if you're going to use MPE, you want to turn it on, enable it in here too. So you get the benefit of all of it. All right, let's just see. Just looking for something textural to go across the back. What's up, Hero? Thank you. Something I notice is this is not, especially particularly important on the first note if it's not hitting. Then I'll fix that. Same thing here. I think these are fine, but I'm just going to do it just in case. All right, cool. Or you can leave like a little excess there, but if you didn't Command J, consolidate these things. Now it should be solid. And then if you pull back one, you don't have anything. See, there's a note that's hitting right here. That I couldn't see it because it was so tucked in there. Cool. So now I know where it's hitting. First one. And you probably want to consolidate each time. That's Command J on the MacBook. I'm not sure what it is on PC. But anyway, that's that. And then I was just going to throw something soft across the background. We'll record that real quick. That's enough because it's gonna get repetitive. Is all it is. Anyway, these are all off. No big deal. We'll just fix it right now. Why not? I could just make it not like make it just straight, but then sometimes the having the little spot where it kind of takes a breath in there between can be nice depending on what your aim is. There's a quick way to do this too where you can this one's not even where you can just make it extend all the way across. I'm not really trying to do that anyway. This one's all right, cool. Then we'll just extend this one to here. Consolidate. Always consolidate if you want. This one could be it's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. All right. Again, consolidate, duplicate. There we go. Let's just see how it sounds. All right. I'm gonna do something I like to do. Well, if I usually I don't play just 8 bars or 4 bars. I'm trying to play 16 to 32 so it doesn't get super repetitive. So one of my little tricks that I use is I select all the notes and then I do use deviation. So it's gonna play a little less sometimes. Sometimes it's gonna play exactly on, but it won't always play the same note. Now, the way do this across all of them is the easier way, I should say, to do it across all is just select them, especially if you have something that's just repeating itself. Select all the notes, not all those notes, all of these notes, and then just deviate them. 26 is fine. So that way they're not gonna it sounds like you're not playing like you played it all the way through versus it being that way. And this is really helpful in my opinion on drums, particularly if you draw in your notes. Really, if you draw in your notes, you can do them all different too. So like here's the hi-hats. I'm gonna deviate these just a little bit. Click here, grab all the snares, deviate them a little bit. And then you can also use chants over here if you don't know about that. I'm gonna do the same for the kicks. I'm gonna bring them down just a little bit, little deviation. So that way, as it plays across, it never plays the note exactly the same. You don't have to do it for this, or if you play the whole thing through, that's fine because obviously you played at different velocities. So it's gonna, but this, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna just select them all. And I just want a little bit. I'm not gonna do negative on this one. I'm gonna do, well, yeah, well, I'll do like negative. Like 6, something small. It doesn't need to be nothing major. So then we'll now this guitar is so much more louder, probably due to that saturation. I'm gonna bring it down, and then one of the things I enjoy doing is pan a little bit of panning. So you can pan right here, it's pretty easy. But I use a plugin for panning. I've shown this before, and you guys can get this on iOS and iPhone. Clevgrand's Haze 2. Really good plugin for setting things in the mix in different areas so that it doesn't all sound like it's piled on top of each other. So why can't I find it? It's right here. So it's good to put like on this one, like the guitar. I'm gonna go to instrument and we're playing a Strat, we're playing electric. I pick whichever one sounds good. This one's pretty good. And then this is like a wind instrument. So you can use like positioning like in the room where you want it, or you can use like I just use this one. I'm gonna put it there. That's fine. So then it sounds like I like that one better. Now you need to have some good headphones or good speakers to better hear the difference. If you just put it on there, you might not notice much, but you need to listen with two, obviously both your ears on to better hear that. So anyway, just a little thing I do personally. Um, yeah, and this is just me messing around, so I'm not really probably won't use this for anything, just putting it together for fun. So anyway. Nice. So that was fun. Just a little mess around, see what I came up with. Um, again, just having fun, nothing, not overthinking this. And even if, let's say, you come away with a loop that you like, but you don't like the rest of it, for instance, I do kind of enjoy the way these strings, to some degree, and these keys. guitar sounds okay. I think I want to switch it out though and let the keys try it out for a minute and see what they do with the same method there. I'm gonna try Neo Warble on this piano. Let me see if I can get it to be dry, which we're gonna go. Nope. There we go. It's dry. And now I'm gonna put Neo Warble. Let's try that out for a second. A little bit of flutter, a little bit of wow. I'm gonna go about right there on the edge, just a little bit of noise, a little bit of dirt. And I'm gonna do some low cut. See if that helps. Let's put a base slide in real quick. Go down. There we go. What in the world did I just do? All right, there we go. What in the- What on earth am I doing? Messing up stuff. I feel like this needs. Just putting something in here to fill the space. I mean, usually you wouldn't if you have somebody that's doing vocals or something like that, because they probably would fill it themselves. I'm gonna put a drum fill in this one at the beginning. All right. Oops. So these are me doing drums by hand, but as you know, I'm not a drummer. So which kit are we using? Recipe. That's one of my favorites. And then we just need a drum fill, so we're gonna go find a drum fill. Um, we'll take it. It might be a little too busy, but whatever. Oops. Have to turn it off. Hero, what's good? Calm down with that bass slide, bro. Yeah, man. Just a bass slide into something is simple, right? Get you right into, or a drum fill. Like this one might be a little busy. Could just, if it wasn't, it wouldn't be so bad if it was like a stick right here. Let me see. Something like that. Maybe that. Put that at the beginning and then just get rid of the rest of this. Like that. And we can just move it all back. Usually you would play this in, but I'm gonna do something for just fun. I don't want that to. We'll put the cello on the left side, just something a little different. Eh, it's pretty cool. I mean, it gets getting there. Maybe we could throw the double bass in. Well, we have a bass going, so it might be a bit much, but yeah, too much. Tremolo. Let's just add in some simple something doing different. See what it does. Of course, I didn't play anything super special there, but whatever. I like the first half, don't really like the second half. So we'll just get rid of it and just make this the one. We'll join them together. And then if you look here, just so you know, you can adjust the MPE in here once you play with the MPE pressure slide. So, and then if you zoom in, you can see it even closer per note. So if you touch a note, see how it highlights? So you know what note you're working on. So that's one of the cool things about having MPE. So now we have the violin, the cello, and the viola playing. And I'm not orchestral person, though I love music like that. So I'm just trying this out. And on for those that may not have been here when I was doing this, we're using Keyscape Double Felt Grand Dry so that we can not have all the reverby. It does have some reverb, but not like when it's not. So this is what it sounds like. And of course, that's what it sounds like with this warble on it. So it's like a tape. And then I have the haze playing it on the left side of the room. I'm going to switch that because um, we have the cello on one side and the viola on the other. So this one, I'm not going to put it on a side. I'm just going to leave it in the middle. So we're going to get rid of haze so it can sit in the middle. Not bad for just a mess around. Cool. Well, I appreciate everyone coming in. I'm about to get up out of here. I may put some of these parts in the pack that I'm still working on. Definitely it'll be like songs like this where I just kind of start stuff and then give you all the parts and then you can take them and expand it or sample or whatever you want to do with it. Cool. I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys.